Hunting is arguably Skyblock's greatest money-making method right now, being good for all stages of the game and having so many different methods which make insane money per hour. Today, I'll be showing you the ultimate hunting gear progression guide to ensure that you can make billions while hunting in Hypixel Skyblock. Hunting is really insane, as the setup cost to get into it is much lower than the cost of a mining setup, as well as also providing some nice buffs which are useful for progression in other areas of the game. There are so many different factors which make hunting insane, which is why all of my recent videos have been about it. I will also be introducing to you guys some really nice Discord bot features that I've been making to help you guys find the cheapest way to upgrade your hunting setup. More on that later, but for now, let's talk about the different hunting tools and what they do. There are 4 different hunting tools which you're going to need for various different hunting methods. The first of these and the most well-known one is the Prime Hunt Axe, currently coming in at about 3 million coins. This axe will allow you to absorb 25% of the basic combat stats of any weapon. Personally, I'd recommend that you just put whatever your best melee weapon is inside your Hunt Axe. If you don't own any good melee weapons, some good ones to aim for are either the Bouquet of Lies from floor 6 and a Cat 19 completion, a giant sword with the same requirements, or the best weapon in the game, the Dark Claymore, but this will require Cat 36 and an M7 completion. In terms of other things to apply to your Hunt Axe, I would recommend the Rugged Reforged for extra strength and crit damage, the Wood Splitter 6 enchant which will buff your damage for certain methods, as well as also Hot Potato and if you need them Fuming Potato books as well. The amount of magical power you need does depend on the method you're doing, and do bear in mind magical power is only necessary for methods which do involve the Hunt Axe. I'd say anything above 600 if you have a Giant Sword or Dark Claymore should be good enough. You will be able to find the recommended magical power in the guide for each unique hunting method. And if you want to find the cheapest accessories to upgrade your magical power, use the /missing command with the Sky Helper Discord bot. Again, that can be done in our Discord. The next hunting tool is the Medium Pocket Black Coal, and this is the sidekick of the Hunt Axe. Once you've used your Hunt Axe to get a mob down to less than 10% HP, once you place a black hole, this will then capture the mob, and then you'll get shards in return. This tool is incredibly cheap, coming in at less than 2 million coins. There really is no reason not to get it. The next tool on the list is the Everstretch Lasso, and this is possibly the least used tool out of all of them. So if you want to skip one and not bother getting it, this would be the one that you skip. The lasso is used to reel in certain mobs, notably the XYZ mobs on the Crimson Isle. There really aren't too many other cases for this. Still though, it only costs 3 million coins, so it isn't a big purchase, and worst case scenario, it gives a lot of XP in the museum. The final and most expensive tool is the Turbo Fishing Net. This tool is primarily used to capture creatures in the lake in Galatea, as you can see on screen right now. There are various good methods in this lake, like Shellwise, Joy Dive and Coralot farming, but again, this tool is a bit more niche than previous tools. So if you can't afford it, this might be something that you come back to later. Again, it does give good XP in the museum as well. So that's all of the tools covered. Let's now move on to how to get more Hunter Fortune, which is the most important stat when it comes to hunting. The maximum base Hunter Fortune is 121, and I'm going to go over how to get each bit of Hunter Fortune, as well as also explaining how to find the most efficient upgrades for your personal profile. The first type of upgrade that we're going to talk about is going to be the David's Cloak upgrades. If you go and talk to David on Galatea, you'll find the attribute stack milestones, where as you get more attribute stacks, you'll unlock more milestones which in turn give Hunter Fortune. This can give up to plus 30 Hunter Fortune, which is a huge buff and can buff your hunting rates by over 15 to 20%. So this is definitely something worth looking into. The way of getting attribute stacks is by siphoning more unique attributes. Depending on an attribute's rarity, it can be siphoned a maximum number of times. For example, for common it's 96 times, all the way down to legendary, which is 24. I've spent the last few days coding a custom Discord bot to show you the cheapest way to get specific David's milestones. So let's head over to Discord where I'll show you how to use the bot. Here we are then in the commands channel of our Discord server. If you haven't already joined, go down to the pinned comment and click the link there, or alternatively use the link on screen now. If you haven't joined already, you really are missing out. Anyways, enough glaze, let's go on to show you how to use this method. So the command we're going to be using to check out David's upgrades and how we can get them cheaply is the /David upgrades command, as you can see right here. Here we can input our current David's milestone level, which you can check in the menu as I showed you a minute ago, as well as also your desired level. So if we're starting with nothing and want to get to level 30, you'll see that this is going to cost us currently about 330 million coins. As you can see right here, it will show us from cheapest to most expensive the shards we can buy, as you can see right here as we go through the pages. So you just scroll through and buy all the shards you need at the amount it tells you to, then add them to your hunting box and then just siphon them. So for level 30 it does cost about 330 million coins. I would not recommend that you max this out fully. Of course this does give Skyblock XP as well, so you are going to have to do it eventually. If you have the money you can, but if you're feeling a little bit broke right now, I'd recommend going to level 25 or so. This will cost significantly less, only costing about 30 million coins. And you're only missing 5 fortune, which really won't make much of a difference on your rates. We're talking only about 2 or 3% worse. So if you're doing a 30 mil per hour money making method, you're only making 1 mil per hour less. So again, you can do the command, then just scroll through the pages as you can see right here, buy each shard as it tells you to, and then you'll get the progress towards the milestones. It really is that simple. Let's now go and talk about the next methods of getting hunter fortune. There are 2 completely free ways of getting more hunter fortune. The first of these is by leveling up your hunting skill. Every hunting level up, as you can see here, gives +1 hunter fortune. It is really easy to max out the skill, either go and hunt Glacier Walkers, more on this later, or alternatively you can do fusions. Every fusion will give you a set amount of hunting XP, so if you fuse enough shards together, you can get hunting 25 in less than 1 hour. You do not have to get hunting 25 before you start hunting. Of course, while hunting, you'll get hunting XP passively. So if you want to leave this and let your level increase passively, that is absolutely fine. The other skill related way of getting more hunter fortune is by leveling up your Heart of the Forest. Once you get to tier 6 of Heart of the Forest, you will unlock the Hunter's Luck perk, which when maxed will give you +50 hunter fortune, which is an absolutely ridiculous buff. This will buff the rates of any hunting method by nearly 30%. The fastest way is to cut down fig trees if you can insta break them. This will take you between 20 and 25 hours. Again, takes a bit of time, but it's definitely worth doing. There are some other activities on Galatea that you can do, which will give you rewards from Agath's contest, which in turn will give you passive Heart of the Forest XP. Some of these include Strider Surfer fishing, which is actually one of the best methods for fishing XP. So if you're going for fishing 50 and want to level up your Heart of the Forest on the side, then make sure to go and check out my fishing 50 video, which I posted recently. You can also hunt on Galatea, which will give you passive Heart of the Forest XP. Some good hunting methods on Galatea include Invisibugs and Hide on Leaves. I already have a guide for Hide on Leaves, and I'm going to make a guide on Invisibugs soon. This way is a lot slower, about 50 to 60 hours. However, if you don't want to forage and you want to make more money, this is the way to go. It really is personal preference. Let's now go over the last remaining gear upgrades to increase your hunter fortune. For this segment, we're again going to be heading back over to the Discord, as there's another command here which we can use to help determine what our cheapest upgrades are. This command is a /fortune checklist command, and you can put in the target fortune which you want to reach, let's say 121, which is maxed, and you can include skills or disclude them. So if you press enter, you're going to get this pop-up. It's going to show you the cheapest way to get different fortunes, as well as also the skills which will get you more fortune. Let's focus on this section here about purchases. There are 3 attributes which are going to give you more base hunter fortune. These being the Megalith, which will give you +10 fortune for about 11.3 million coins. The Sea Serpent will buff the Megalith, which in turn gives +2 hunter fortune, costing about 19.2 million coins. The Tiamat will buff the Sea Serpent, which in turn buffs the Megalith, and this will give an additional +1 hunter fortune when all of these are maxed. So in total for these 3 attributes, that's +13 hunter fortune, costing roughly 40 million coins. Again, these upgrades should be some of the last you get, hence why they cost so much. Of course, we've already talked about the David's Cloak milestones, +30 fortune here would cost 331 million coins. For me, the sweet spot is at about 113 hunter fortune, which if you compare it to the 121 or even just 115 hunter fortune, here you're paying tens of millions of coins for just a few extra fortune. So if you're on a budget, I'd recommend you go up to 113. You'll see that you're going to get the Megalith, Tiamat and Sea Serpent attributes, as well as also get your David's Cloak up to milestone 25. Of course, we talked about this a bit earlier. You'll also then get Hunting 25 and Heart of the Forest level 6. So in total, you pay about 70 million coins, as well as work for about 30 hours, and you're going to have a really good hunting setup. So all in all, a really useful command here. Feel free to come and use this in the Discord. The prices do update regularly, so if you want to see updated prices and all of that stuff, then I would recommend that you join and use this command. If you thought we were done with buying gear, well, not just yet, I'm afraid to say. There are some other attributes which you're going to need to buy for various different hunting methods. You do not need to buy all of these straight away, it depends on what method you go into. But for this video being the ultimate progression guide, I'm going to list all of the useful hunting attributes, starting off with the Newt shard, which will give you plus 20 hunter fortune when hunting common shards. And this currently to max is going to set you back 27 million coins. The Salamander shard gives you plus 20 hunter fortune again, but this time towards uncommon shards. And this is going to set you back 16 million coins. The Lizard King shard gives plus 10 hunter fortune towards rare shards, costing you 17 million coins. The Leviathan shard gives plus 10 fortune for epic shards and will cost you 10 million coins. The Python is one of the most useful shards, making your black hole 50% faster. Setting you back about 10 million coins, this is one of the best shards to get in terms of hunting. The King Cobra will give your black hole 10% more hunter fortune, again costing about 10 million coins. The Viper shard will make the weapon inside your hunt axe 10% stronger, costing 14 million coins. We've already talked about the Sea Serpent, Tiamat and Megalith. The Basilisk will make your lasso 20% faster. Again, this isn't really particularly useful, but for some methods it is nice. And finally, the Eel shard will give your fishing net plus 10 pull. This can be useful for any methods inside the lake. Those are all of the available attributes, and if you were to max all of them out, it's going to set you back 165 million coins in total. Again, depending on the method, these attributes may or may not be useful. You will see which attributes are needed for specific methods in their related guides. There we have it. That's all of the gear that you could possibly ever need for hunting. Now that you know what you need to buy, what should you do with the gear once you get it? There are so many different hunting methods which you can use. Personally, right now, I'd be hunting Glacial Walkers, as even though I already made a video on these, which got 20,000 views, this method is still intact at 40 to 50 million coins per hour. There are other hunting methods around, and if you want to find the best hunting methods for right now, we do also have another Discord bot command. So let's head back over to the Discord to show you the final command for today's video. Here we are then back on the Discord, and the command we're going to be talking about I have shown in previous videos. And it's a /best profits command, if I can actually spell. If we choose to sell off of the shards, and then click enter, you'll see that right now, Lapis zombies are inflated and technically making 90 million coins per hour. But if you see anything above 60 million coins per hour, chances are the prices are inflated and they won't actually sell. If we look down the list, we have Strider Surfers at 61 million coins per hour, and these do sell quite well. Then we have Glacial Walkers, as I just mentioned, currently making 60 million coins per hour. You can then run, for example, the /Glacial Walker command, and this will show you more info about the method, and then also the link to the Glacial Walker guide, which if we click on this, it's going to take us here to the Glacial Walker guide, which I have already made. This applies to all of the hunting methods which I'm making and will make in the future. All of them can be found in the Hunting Guides channel in my Discord, as you can see here. So if you want to keep up to date with all hunting guides when they do come out, and find which is the best at current prices, then do make sure to join the Discord if you have not already. I look forward to seeing you guys here, and hopefully this guide has helped you make billions. That's all from me, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.